5v1 still loading it over team 1. We got team 2. We got Alex over on the team 1 as a Shatter Priest with Alonia on the Feral Druid Necrolord. Balas coming back as a Demonology. We got ourselves Foe Blood gonna be first up, charging out as a Gnome Furious Warrior. Kiosca exchanging some grenades. Is Kiosca got their tier set? I wonder, because some of those grenades do seem like they hurt quite a bit. Gonna be a spear, but missing versus Kiosca. The pet does get speared back there. Kiosca separated from the pet for a second. Trinket out of full blood as he pops on every defensive and offensive, going for a leap and a charge at the same time. Sprinted towards Kiosca, hits him with a fear into a disarm right after. Kiosca having to go for a little bit of that damage with a death chakra, potentially explosive. Gonna be full blood, trying to go for a reflect. Don't really know when he can reflect versus Kiosca. It's gonna be a kill shot at the end, and Kiosca does end up trucking him down. We got ourselves a Tony Foe over in Team 1 joining in. Team 2 is missing one, but maybe they're just still loading in, or maybe the one we needed. Maybe Casco going for a 1v5 in survival. Dropping grenades onto Tony. As Tony got that crippling, coursing poison of chimeric variety coursing through their veins. Gonna hit him with a slow, then a silence, then a damage and healing reduction by like 20%. Into a Sunder onto Kiosca. Does activate a set. Is going to be a turtle shell for Kiosca with a Fleshcraft immediately. As Tony Foe just doesn't have much to really work with damage-wise. Dart trap down on the ground. Tony Foe having to swing around the corner. Kiosca with a full Fleshcraft. Going to be a big chakra, a big, not chakram, but a big, harvest. Chain Harvest. I wonder if Tony's playing the Sky Fury Legendary where the Flame Shocks are more likely to crit. And together with the Venthyr Legendary, he actually gains more cooldown reduction on his Venthyr ability every time Flame Shocks crit. That's actually been a playstyle that a lot of enhanced shamans have been playing as of recently, especially with how easily they can spread Flame Shocks. So most likely Kiosca and his pet are going to have Flame Shocks rolling, unless Kiosca is very, very careful. Like he went in the camo, no Flame Shock on the pet, probably waited out until that was gone. And for Tony Foe, as long as he can get on top of Kiosca, hits him with a Flame Shock, hits him with a Lava Lash, it automatically will spread Flame Shock on the pet. So that'll be more than one shock rolling in on Kiosca unless he goes for Feign Death. With Tony, I mean, he could just reset another Flame Shock right after. I wonder if this ability is going to go for a Static Totem down. Kiosca's kind of locked in place. Going to be a Stun Totem down for Tony. Tony kind of lowish on health, but does finally get some damage onto Kiosca with a Sundering right after. Does not have the most Maelstrom. It's going to have to go for a bit of healing. Should hopefully start hitting the pet in order to get some Maelstrom. That pet is a perfect Maelstrom generator right then next to you. Kiosca swinging around the corner, dropping in more grenades with a stun onto Tony Foe. Tony goes in for a Trinket. Going to be a Dark Iron Racial into an interrupt that looks like Kiosca does it and taking him out. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he had the Dark Iron Racial after a Trinket. Is that what that was? Potentially? But it looked like it was under a ton of pressure and all of a sudden just blew up. I guess they didn't have enough Maelstrom. Generate. Gonna be Ballas. Drop it in a balloon? Is that what you're playing? Wait, am I dumb? I thought I saw a big old pet above your head. I swear to God, I thought I saw a balloon above his head. And by balloon, I mean like it's a big old observer. The Demonology Warlocks can run. Summon Observer. It's kind of like Summon Fellord, but instead of that, he summon a big old balloon guy. And what makes him a balloon is because every time he zaps you, because it's supposed to zap every time an enemy uses a cast, it's supposed to punish you for it by doing some percentage health damage. But every time he does it, he goes up in the air and he just flies away like a balloon. Tyrant coming down for Ballas. Gonna be Kiosca. Human Racial Loud. Gonna be full pets onto Kiosca with a Sun right after. Kiosca getting hit with a Drain. Trying to see if he can disrupt Ballas. Ballas with a Dark Pack. The Tyrant is able to get some damage out. Ballas, does he have himself the big one-shotter damage? Does he still play the big one-shotter damage? He is playing a Necrolord. And he does, I think, try to set up a Decimating Bolt. I don't know if he has one ready to go. Drain Life, trying to get himself healed. Gonna be a stun to Balls. Walling this damage off as grenades are coming through. It's a lot of damage, a lot of explosive. Balls trying to go for a fear onto Kiosca. Just trying to give himself a little bit of a livability. Gonna be the Decimating Bolt. Does he have a one shot? Gonna be the Aegis Trinket, absorbing a lot of that damage. Balls, I think, still has one more cast of Aegis to follow. I think he might just wait until Aegis falls off and then get that damage into Kiosca's health bar. Gonna be Kiosca with a Turtle Shell. Pets jumping in. Medic Bandage helping Kiosca recover a little bit, but the pets are back in there. Does Boss have one more Decimating Bolt? He could potentially, or one more Demon Bolt. He could potentially have one. Trying not to get interrupted by Kiosca if he can. Does get a juke out that interrupt. And Boss does go for one more Demon Bolt, but I think it had the big crit buff anymore. That's gonna be a Freezing Trap onto the Warlock. The pets are still on. Actually, no, pets are no longer on Kiosca. Where's the main pet? I think his Wrathguard. Velguard is gone. It's going to try to see if he can resummon, but the explosive Kiosca taking him out. Going in for a 3-0 so far with Alex up next. I think actually what happened is it looked like maybe Kiosca focused in on the main Wrath or Felguard pet. Wrathguard is actually, when I say Wrathguard sometimes, it's a basic the same pet. Felguard and Wrathguard, it's just a different model. But functionally, I think they're about the same. Or exactly the same. They just look different. Alex is going to be up next. Even though Wrathguard does look like a dual wielding pet, I don't think it actually gains any value from dual wield. Kiosk getting hit with the fear. Gonna be mind games. Kiosk is gonna go for a Fleshcraft. Fleshcraft doesn't do damage to him. I think the healing from Marilla does end up hurting into the Fleshcraft a little bit, but he got 20% damage reduction. He was stunned with Alex with a disperse the last second, but dampening is only 4%. Does Kiosk maybe has Chimeric to follow? If he only had Chimeric on top of it, that would have been even more healing reduction. Aegis Trinket for Alex. Needs some kind of escape out of it, but I think might just be going down. It looks like getting shot in the back as Kiosk does end up wiping him out. With Alonia gonna be the last one left. Bash onto Kiosk, looking for some biggie damage. Kiosk trying to exchange some grenades. Gonna be setting traps for Alonia, looking to back up out of the earth. So skipping him plays the Chimeric Poison, is cycling through Alonia though. Hitting him with a slow, hitting him with a silence, and then some damage healing reduction, but that frees the trap. Put him on ice. Not gonna have to worry about that poison reducing their damage. Flare down. Alonia is gonna try to take a swipe. Kiosk does find him. Has for Berserk. Maim available. Kiosk could potentially be in trouble. No big bleeds for Alonia though. I think that was a resonant trinket from the Feral Druid. I don't know how much damage Kiosk took from it. Is gonna activate the Aegis Trinket. Some of the damage of Alonia, some of the dot damage from the Swarm and the Moonfire, and potentially Thorns is gonna get absorbed by the trinket. But a lot of those bleeds are just going right through. The health bar not looking that good. Kiosk does go reset with a Mending Bandage. Try to recover as much health as possible. Needs to make sure Alonia does not catch a reset. Is going to hit him with a stun. Immediate trinket by the Feral Druid. Kiosk back it up out of there. As the Feral has the freedom to do all the damage in the world. Potentially could be outside. Alonia could be in big trouble and sitting about half health. Kiosk got less than that, but it could be anyone's game really at this point. Kiosk get a cooldowns rolling outside coming out for Alonia. Is going to hit him with that silence from the trinket. Is going to be some healing reduction. Alonia looking for a bit of that healing, a bit of recuperation. But looks like a lot of that poison did run out. Kiosk needs to go for some kind of CC reset versus Alonia, but looks like the stun and the dodge do catch up with him. Jesus charging out next, over for the Team 2. It looks like Team 2 came in with one man down, but it didn't really matter for them that much. So you got plenty of damage. Kiosk is literally 1v4ing these boys. Stun to Alonia. All the pets on the roll for Jesus. Looking just to clobber him down. It's going to be a flush coming on top. No. Trying to go for a flush cut into a Cyclone, but by then you only have a Death Knight. Fully ramped up with all these bursts in the world clawing at you. Just absolutely demolishing you. Playing a lantern this way. See us. Oh, you good, sub dude, sub. You good, my guy. You're good. All right, boys. Let's see if we got another group going, yeah?